All right, hello everyone. Welcome to our show, Caring for Your Pet. And this is where you can learn more about how to simply, easily, and compassionately keep your pet healthy and happy. My name is Berns Galang or Berns Berry, your host for the show. Now, if you have a cat or cats, and if going on travel and adventures with them rings your bells, then this is perfect for you. And with us today is an adventure cat specialist, Emily Hall. She is the founder and owner of KittyCatGO. It is a site dedicated in all things related to adventure and travel with cats. She has been traveling and adventuring with her cats for over 5 years now, and they love hiking, road trips, canoe, and so much more. Now, aside from riding and training gear and safety, Emily is also hosting a monthly live stream show called Kitty Cat Go Live, and this is where she chats with guests about different cat adventure topics. Her goal is really to educate people and encourage them and help others to have successful cat adventures. She lives with her husband. There's 7 cats, 1 dog, and 2 sugar gliders. Oh, and so without further ado, let's all learn from Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So awesome to have you here. And yeah, first off, I really want to know, have you been a cat person at such a young age? Hmm.
Yes, my mom tells me that my first word as a baby was kitty.
Oh, so
So
cute.
I have always loved cats, and I grew up having cats as a young kid. I got my first cat when I was just 6 years old.
Lovely. And well, most cats nowadays are indoor cats, but what you do in all things adventure with cats is really very interesting. So, how did the idea of traveling and adventuring with cats come about?
So one of our cats, Sophie, has a neurological disorder called cerebellar hypoplasia, and this causes her to just be kind of wobbly and uncoordinated. And we started taking her outside in our backyard to just sort of give her some more enrichment. And we knew she couldn't run away or anything like that because of her disorder. And she loved it so much. She loved being out in the backyard, and could just see it in her eyes. And so we started taking her more places with us, got her a harness and leash, and started taking her to the park. And when we'd go on road trips, we'd bring her with us, and she always loved it. She was there for everything. And as we added more cats to the family, I just trained them right along with Sophie to do all the things with her. And now we have 3 who are harness and leash trained and really enjoy going on adventures.
Sounds like so much fun. She's so lucky to have you. And can you share with us how you started Kitty Cat Go?
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of information out there about traveling and adventuring with dogs, but there's not so much for cats. And when I started traveling and adventuring with mine several years back, there wasn't much out there, to help me. There weren't many websites or anything to give you tips and advice on how to train your cat or what to do or anything. I kind of made it up as I went along. And I wanted to provide a resource for others. I saw how much it enriched my cat's life, and I wanted to be able to help others be able to do that too. So I started my website, KittyCatGO, so that I could help encourage others to take their cats out. And so I share training articles, recommended gear, and safety articles and stuff, so that there's some resources out there for people who want to get started doing it as well.
Wonderful. And it sounds like you're quite a visionary starting something like that, because especially if for something that's not readily available and that really helps a lot of other people who really want to know more about this. And yeah, for those who are interested in taking their cat out for adventures, what would you recommend? Well, especially for beginners.
So my biggest piece of advice for someone who's just getting started is to take it slow, and do your research to make sure that you're doing things right. I can't tell you how many times I've had people tell me that they put a harness on their cat and tried to take them out for a walk and their cat hated it. And that's because it's not, you shouldn't just try to take your cat for a neighborhood walk right away. You know, that's not the first step. The first step isn't even putting the harness on your cat. There's steps that you need to do to prepare your cat for that. And if you start the journey off on the wrong foot, then it's going to be harder to train your cat and get them more comfortable with that, because their first experiences might be negative. So, you know, my big thing that I always try to tell everyone is be patient and start really slow. Take your time and go through the training process properly, even if it takes a while, because it's just going to be a better experience for both you and your cat that way.
Lovely. Thanks for that. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, I think patience is really the key for that. And yeah, when it comes to pet trackers, I'm curious about it. What about pet tracking systems? Is this something that cat owners should really be using if they plan to take their cats outside?
They certainly can. Some people use them and some people don't. I think it's really one of those pieces of gear that's recommended, but isn't necessary. It can certainly bring you a lot of peace of mind if you're going to be out with your cat places, in case they ever did slip out of their harness and run off or something. You have that tracker to kind of hopefully help you reunite you with your cat. It is kind of hard to find one that suits your purposes, though. There are so many different styles and kinds, like GPS ones or Bluetooth ones or radio frequency trackers, and they all work better in different circumstances. Like some are better suited for city type places and some are better suited, you know, for like out in the woods in the country, and they might not work in both situations, you know. So it can be a little tricky to find the right pet tracking device that will fit your needs. But if that's, you know, something that you're worried about, if your cat is likely to get out of their harness, or you're in an area where, you know, you'd be afraid of losing your cat, then having that tracking device can certainly, you know, help you stay relaxed and know that if something bad happened, you could use that to help you find your cat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Great advice for cat owners. And what are your thoughts about microchipping with its growing popularity? I mean, is it something that you would recommend as well?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely microchip. All of my cats are microchipped, and you know, it's sort of like that, the tracker, you know, it's hopefully you never have to use the microchip. Hopefully you never have to use the tracking device. But if you did ever lose your cat, then the chances of you being reunited with them and them, you know, finding their way back home, either, you know, by somebody finding them or you finding them, it just makes that more likely. There are so many stories out there of pets getting reunited with their families, even years later, thanks to their microchips. So definitely microchip.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's also good to plan ahead and just be mindful for our pets in that way. And yeah, what about cat friendly locations? What are some things that you need to consider if people are really want to take their cats outside for some adventure?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that you want to check if you're trying to go to a new place is to confirm that cats are in fact allowed. There are a lot of businesses and hotels and places like that that say they're pet friendly, but a lot of times that tends to mean dog friendly. Because you know, let's face it, adventuring with cats is not super popular yet, you know, so most people aren't thinking that someone's going to bring their cat, so they use the term pet friendly instead of dog friendly. They're not really making that specification when they might should, because I've definitely run into instances where I wanted to take my cat somewhere and on the place's website it said pet friendly, but then I called and I'm saying, can I bring my cat, and they say no, that they just allow dogs. So always call or email or message on social media or do whatever to make sure that the location welcomes cats before you go.
All right.
And also, once you find a place that will let you bring your cat, especially if you're just starting out, the biggest thing would be to pick a time to go that's quieter, where it's not going to be super busy and noisy,
Right.
because that can be overwhelming and stressful for cats at first. So when you're going new places, try to stick to a quieter time of day.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that. That makes so much sense, and it's a great advice for to be sure, just to be ensure our cat's safety as well. And do you also bring your cat's medical records when traveling?
It depends. I know that some states here I don't know how it is like internationally, but I know in the United States, there are some states that require a health certificate from your cat when traveling like across state lines and stuff. You get those from your veterinarian. And a lot of airlines require a health certificate as well if you're going to be flying with your cat. So I think it just depends, if you're going somewhere, either flying or taking a road trip out of state, just find out what the rules are for where you're going and to know if you need that health certificate. And then I always make sure that I'm traveling with, proof of my cat's rabies vaccination, because that's something that could be important. And then there are so many apps out there, like free pet health apps, where you can store all of your cat's medical information just like right on your phone. So it's easy to keep your cat's records with you, wherever you go. Even if you're not traveling, you have it with you all the time.
Oh, great. Thank you for breaking that down. And when traveling as well, do you also need to bring like litter box or maybe a carrier or other cat products that you need to put in a van or a car when traveling?
Yeah, so what you bring kind of depends on how long you're going to be away from home. If you're traveling overnight or on a longer road trip that's, maybe a couple hours or something, then bring a litter box so that way your cat has somewhere to go to the bathroom, away from home. Some cats might not be comfortable using a litter box outside of their home. I know my cats, I always bring one in the car when we're traveling, but they've never once actually used it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they always wait until we get to like our destination, either back home or if we're staying at a hotel or a family member's house, they'll use the litter box at those places, but they never use it on the road. But some cats do, so it's good to have it just in case you need it, and then of course, if you're going to be away for like an overnight travel or something, you want to bring things like food and water and a bed and your cat's favorite toys and maybe a scratcher and stuff, whatever you can bring that's going to make your cat feel at home and comfortable and have those familiar scents. So that way in your new location, your destination, that they will maybe feel a little more relaxed and comfortable. And then also definitely, you mentioned a carrier. I always travel in the car with my cats restrained in a carrier. I don't recommend letting your cats just be like free roaming in the car. There's just too much potential for danger for everyone, for you, for your cat, for other people on the road. So yes, always a carrier.
Awesome. Yeah, and bring your comfort for your cat. Your cat's
Yes.
comfort with you. Yeah. And considering that cats travel in a car or a van during a road trip, how long should the travel time be?
That's going to depend on the cat and also how experienced they are, and how comfortable they are in the car. Some cats, mine have been traveling in the car for a long time, for years, and they've gone on road trips as long as 6 or 7 hours. We take breaks and stop and let them stretch their legs and stuff like that, but they've always been fine with those longer road trips. But if you're just getting started, you want to practice with just short car rides, like from your house and maybe just around the block or just down the street, and gradually increase the amount of time your cat's in the car. So basically you're training your cat to be comfortable in the car and ride in the car. And the more you do it, the more your cat will get comfortable and the longer they'll be able to comfortably ride in the car.
Yeah, it's all a matter of getting used to, and it takes practice.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you have top recommendations when it comes to cat products that cat parents can use when they take their cats outside?
Yes. So always have a harness and leash. Those are going to be like
Right.
the basic things that you need if you're going to be adventuring with your cat is a safe harness and a leash. And then, we mentioned the car carrier. And then in addition to the car carrier, I also recommend getting a backpack carrier, or some people prefer a stroller, a pet stroller. Those are really great for introducing your cat to new situations. Like once you get them out of the car, if just carrying them into a pet store or something, that may be really scary and overwhelming, but if they're in their backpack or their stroller and they know that's a safe place, then they can stay in there and then maybe choose to come out of it once they feel comfortable and ready. So definitely a backpack or stroller, and always bring treats.
Of course.
Treats.
Yeah.
Yes. Reward your cat and try to get them to associate what you're doing with positive things like treats and pets and love and all of that. And then of course too, a collar with their ID tags. So in case they did ever slip out of their harness, even if your cat's microchipped, having a collar with their ID tags and stuff is important too.
Awesome. That's great to know. And you guys in the audience, I hope that's helping you. And yeah, my next question is about what's the most adventurous thing that you ever did with your cat?
That's a good question. I think probably camping.
Awesome.
Yeah, that my husband and I like to go tent camping, and we've brought two of our cats camping with us before, and there's a lot that goes into that to get them ready and get them trained to feel comfortable doing something like that. So that's probably the most adventurous thing, spending the night in a tent in the woods.
That's so fun. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And at that stage, you really should be trained, and the cats are used to it at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about some of the most adventurous things that you've seen others do with their cats?
Yeah, so I've seen so many amazing things, like people out there. I've seen most recently, someone in my community posted videos of them cross-country skiing with their cat, which I thought was pretty amazing. I don't get snow where I live, so to me that is like super adventurous and exciting to go
Oh,
skiing with
yes.
your cat. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite an adventure. And yeah, that's quite a lucky cat to be able to.
Yes.
Wonderful. And yeah, you do a monthly live stream show called it Kitty Cat Go Live. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so on KittyCatGO Live, it's really similar actually to what we're doing right now. I always have a guest, and they are a specialist or expert in some area that is related to traveling and adventuring with cats, and we just chat about whatever the topic is for that episode. Like for example, my most recent episode was about therapy cats. And while maybe might not directly seem related to adventuring with cats, the training and personality traits that go with both therapy cats and adventuring with cats, there's a lot of overlap. And so, I had a woman on as my guest who has a therapy cat, and she told us, how to go through the certification process and what it was like. And so my goal with the show is just to share about other people's experiences and then also provide helpful information about specific topics.
Wonderful. And yeah, our audience can also go there. Then we'll be talking about the links later. And I always ask this question, from your perspective, how do you think cat parents can be the key to their cat's happiness?
So that I think, as cat parents, we play such a vital role in our cat's happiness and well-being, because if we could make the choice obviously to just have a cat and not really do much with them, give them a house a roof over their head and food to keep them nourished, and otherwise they're just kind of like,
Yeah.
lazing around the house, right? But they need more than that, and it's our responsibility and our duty, I think, to give them enrichment, and that can come in many forms. I obviously advocate for traveling and adventuring with cats, but some cats don't enjoy that. It's not for every cat. So as cat parents, I think it's important for us to find out what our cats do enjoy and give them that extra activity, give them that extra enrichment and stimulation, so that way they're happy and healthy mentally and physically. It's up to us to provide all of those things with them.
Yeah, it's really our responsibility to give them a well-rounded and balanced, happy life. And of course, happy cats, happy cat parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And yeah, how do you feel when you get to help other cat owners there to have more fun and adventurous lives with their cats?
I get so excited when I have someone like reach out to me and say that they came across my website or they saw a video or something and it inspired them to try harness and leash training with their cat. It's so exciting to me to know that there's something that I'm doing that's helping others and encouraging them to take that extra step and try something new with their cat. And I always love hearing about all the people who decide to get started with it. It's the most exciting part to me.
Wonderful. Yeah, sounds like something that's really, really fulfilling. And you get to do what you're passionate about. And yeah, it's about cats. It's really pure, awesome fun. Yeah, and do you have any final thoughts?
Yes.
Is there something that you would like to leave our audience with?
Gosh, I don't know, Berns. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Anyway, but if you have like a free offer in mind, yeah, and if you can share with our audience where they can find you, can you?
Yeah. So I've put together a free harness and leash training guide. It's a PDF download for everyone who is watching and attending this event, and you can find that at kittycatgo.com/freebie, and you can enter your name and email address and I'll email it right to you.
Awesome. All right, we'll put the links in our page and in our emails as well. And yeah, I'd like to thank you, Emily, for being part of this and for making this project so much fun. And I appreciate the knowledge and the experiences that you shared. I hope you can also join us again in the future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's an honor for you to be here. And everyone, I sure hope this show has provided value for you. And I hope it really helped you learn more about how to simply, easily, and compassionately keep your pet healthy and happy. So I wish you so much love and lots of adventures and lots of fun with your pets. And we'll see you around for updates. So watch out for that. And yeah, bye for now and happy adventuring. Thanks again, Emily.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.